Hey, this is Trissa from Sewing and Things, and in this video I'm going to show you how to sew a curved hem for the Constance sew along. Curved hems can be pretty tricky. So one of the things that I like to do that makes it a little bit easier for the Constance is on your pattern piece when you're cutting it out to move your curve to end at the smaller size one down. And so if this was where the curve ended, I would actually move my pattern piece over. So this spot is a little bit straighter here. It'll make it a lot easier when hemming. And so that's what I did to have this a little bit straighter rather than it being shorter, or not shorter, but so if I wouldn't have done that, my curve would have been a lot sharper. And so I like to do that because it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit smoother, because curved hems are tricky. So start off by having your shirt inside out. We're going to start at the side seam, one of the side seams. But I like to start here and hemming it with whatever the hem allowance is. But again, I just eyeball all of mine. So first I'll start off by just putting a pin here, but I'm going to use clips for my side seams and pins everywhere else. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. And then I like to go in the middle of one of the sides and start pinning there. So I'll start here. And it is going to start to get a little funky here by this curve, since where we're hemming it is going to be, it's going to end up having more fabric on the wrong side. So if it ends up bunching over, that's fine. Another thing that would help is if your fabric presses well, to press a memory hem on here. It'll make it a little bit easier. But once I have it slightly pinned, I will actually come in about the middle of here and add a pin. And then again in the middle of here, you can see how I'm getting a little bit of excess fabric on the wrong side. That is totally fine. And if you don't like that, go ahead and put another pin there. That way it evens out that. And then this is where it So with our curved hem all pinned, put this under my machine. So again, I like to have a shorter allowance here at the curve, at the side seam, and then it'll go back to my regular one after I go past that side seam. And I'm going to hold this taut, but I'm not going to stretch it, but I'll hold it taut. That way, this is lying flat. I'm just going to ease it around. Now with this curve, we're going to start doing the same thing. Make sure it lies flat on the right side. The wrong side, it might ripple slightly, but as long as it's only on the wrong side, it's all good. But now I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done with this. And so just keep moving it over so that your seam, not your seam, your hem fold line is going to stay lined up on whatever marking you're using. And if you need to use tape to mark that, you can. And again, I'll keep this slightly taut, but not stretching it, just to help keep any ripples on the right side from appearing. And then again, I'll have a shorter seam allowance or a shorter hem allowance on this side, just like I did in the beginning. See, this is where you want to be careful that you don't get it folding over. So you want to make sure it's nice and smooth and not twisting, because right here at the side seam is where it is more likely to twist. And I like to check here at the end to see how far my hem allowance is. That way, if I ended up not catching it when I first started, I can now make sure I go back and catch that side seam hem at the end. And then go over your stitches a little bit of the way. And then don't forget to tie off your threads in a square knot. And if you use a sewing machine, you want to make sure you are pulling your needle threads to the wrong side. So here you can see it's a little bit ripply. I can just go and take my iron and give that a nice good press. You can see, actually this actually turned out pretty good. See again, this side it's a little ripply, but so just give it a nice press with some steam, and that should help get rid of that. My stitches got caught on the side. And so since I stretched it ever so slightly around that curve, it's nice and you can see it actually came out nice and smooth on the wrong side. I need to fix that. My my looper thread got stuck, so I'm gonna have to fix that. But yes, you see here, I just eased it a little bit, and here it is on the right side. So I'll just go in and press that ever so slightly on the ends, but that's it. See, it's nice and so if I didn't slightly lengthen right here on my curve, this curve would have been a lot sharper and it would have been a lot harder to hem, which is why I like to just add a little bit of, straighten it out a little bit right here where the side seam is. But yeah, but that's it. To stay up to date on the latest videos, be sure to subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my blog at sewingandthings.com.